Welcome to Nasdaq TradeTalks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq, coming to you live from Exchange in Miami. Joining me to kick off day 2 of our coverage, we have Megan Rust, she's ETF Capital Markets Senior Analyst at Franklin Templeton, to discuss the launch of Franklin Templeton's Bitcoin Spot ETF, as well as what's driving investor demand. Megan, it's great to have you with us. Welcome to TradeTalks.
Thank you for having me.
You got it. Why did Franklin Templeton decide to get in the mix and launch a Bitcoin ETF?
Yeah, so we launched Franklin Bitcoin ETF, EZBC, last month, and I think we've continued to see a lot of investor demand. And I think the ETF vehicle made a lot of sense for Bitcoin, right? Accessibility has been a conversation for many, many years now with the digital asset space, and it made sense to put it in an ETF vehicle and give investors that access. I think also we have a pretty extensive digital asset team at Franklin Templeton that a lot of people in the ETF world might not have appreciated. So years ago, we spent a lot of money building out resources, building out capabilities, and have brought many digital asset funds to market. And so when the ETF conversation came to space, it made sense to just marry that with our ETF resources and launch a fund.
What differentiates Franklin Templeton's Bitcoin ETF from other products that are in the marketplace?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think there's a couple key things. The first I would say is affordability. So our price point is 0 basis points right now. We're actually in a fee waiver that expires in August, and then we're 19 basis points. So we're really a low-cost leader in the space, and that's been an approach we've taken to our entire ETF lineup. So years ago, we launched single country passive that was 80% cheaper than the existing funds out there, because we feel very passionately that investors need access to ETFs at a low cost, right? They're building a portfolio, we want them to use ETFs as building blocks, and it needs to be low cost in order for them to do that. So we really wanted to be a low cost leader, so we feel passionately about us differentiating there. The second is liquidity. So like, my job is cap markets. I look at trading and liquidity all day, especially for EZBC, and we've been very, very pleased with how the fund has traded. Bid-ask spreads are a penny. We see consistent volume, consistent inflows. But the most important thing is the fund is tracking the underlying price of spot Bitcoin very, very well. Our premium discounts to that underlying spot price are very, very narrow and almost some of the best amongst all the spot Bitcoin ETFs. And that's because upon launch, we did a lot of work getting multiple coin trading counterparties involved. So we're really, really pleased there. I think the liquidity is a big part of the conversation, especially as I'm talking to clients, and I think it's really going to help set us apart.
So outside of the Bitcoin ETF, what other products at Franklin Templeton are interesting to you?
Yeah. So we've seen a lot of growth in our div suite, specifically on the international side. So we have 2 funds. The first is LVHI, Franklin International Low Vol High Div. And the second one is DIVI, Franklin International Core Div. These funds have both grown tremendously over the last 12 months. I think they're both at like 700 million in AUM, and the majority of those flows have come in the last 12 months. So we've been really excited to see those growth. The performance has been great. They're smart beta funds, and they've outperformed the broad market indices quite well. And so, we're hoping we're going to see those hit that $1 billion milestone pretty soon.
All right, Megan, appreciate the insight. Thanks for joining us on TradeTalks. And thanks for joining me from Exchange. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.